Hello and welcome back. In this video, you'll learn the basics of how to traffic a new creative within Cargo Marketplace. After clicking into the new creative placement we submitted earlier, we've drilled down to the creative level, where we will generate the snippet for the new creative. To find the tags and image needed to traffic the creative, we'll look to our campaign launch post. This is located back in the campaign level of Cargo Marketplace, under the discussions. For this specific creative, we will be trafficking a 320 by 50 pixel image file. You will populate these numbers within the dimensions columns. To traffic this creative, we'll need to download the provided image file and tag sheets from the campaign launch post. Once you've downloaded your tag sheet and creative and navigated back to the creative placement, we'll be able to generate the snippet for this creative. To do so, we will click Generate Tag on the right-hand side. At this point, we are presented with two creative formats. To traffic an image file, we will choose Static Creative. As I stated earlier, we will be trafficking a 320 by 50 pixel image file, which you will populate under Dimensions. Once we have populated the static creative dimensions, we'll need to populate the click URL section. To do this, we'll need to match the correct placement name with the creative that you're trafficking within the tag sheet we downloaded earlier. In this case, the placement name on the tag sheet that corresponds with the creative is Cargo Mobile Hover Site Served. First, we're going to populate the Click URL section. This will be found under the Click Trackers tab on the bottom of the Excel spreadsheet. Keep in mind that all tag sheets are different, so where you find the Click Tracker will vary. Once we've found the hover placement on the Click Trackers tab, we're going to copy the Click Tracker from the hover line into the Click URL section of the snippet. Now that we've populated the Click URL section, we'll need to populate the actual creative image. We do this by adding the image we downloaded from the launch post earlier into the creative box. We can do this in two different ways. Either we can drag the image we downloaded earlier and drop it into the box, or we can search for the file in our system by clicking Upload File in the creative box. Finally, we need to add the impression tracker. This will also be found within the same tag sheet the Click Trackers were found in. Under the Tags tab in the tag sheet, match the same placement name with the correct impression tracker. For most standard and static creative, we'll be trafficking the standard tag. In these cases, the impression tracker we need is located in between the parentheses after IMG SRC and in between border. After we've copied this tag, we will insert it into the additional impression trackers box. After we've inserted the impression tracker within this box, we'll need to replace the timestamp box with the cache buster. This cache buster will need to be manually replaced and inserted into all third-party impression trackers with a timestamp in order to properly track impressions and avoid discrepancies. Once the Click Tracker, impression tracker, and image have been inserted, we're ready to submit the static creative by clicking the Submit button in the top right-hand corner. If the creative is served via third party, or if there are multiple pixels behind the third-party tag, the JavaScript tag will be utilized. In the case of rich media creative formats, we'll need to populate that circle after choosing to generate tag. When choosing the rich media creative format, it is always necessary to refer to best practices when deciding to check or uncheck the with responsive box. After this step, we are able to copy the JavaScript tag directly from the corresponding placement in the Excel spreadsheet into the creative HTML box. Once we've copied the full JavaScript tag from the tag sheet, we'll need to insert the click tracking macro underneath data DCM HTTPS only. Once we have inserted the click tracking macro, we are now ready to submit the completed JavaScript rich media creative. Once the creative has been submitted, we now have a complete Cargo Marketplace creative snippet that is ready to traffic. From this point, we have the option to generate a demo link to preview the creative in a live setting. To do this, we use the button closest to the ad tag heading that looks like an eye. Clicking this button will redirect you to a second page where a demo of the ad is generated. By copying the URL in the search bar, we are able to send this demo link to others for the purpose of previewing the creative. We are also able to download the complete ad tag via two avenues. Pressing the button next to the demo link generator will download the completed ad tag in a text file. Additionally, we are able to use the copy button to copy the entire ad tag to the computer's clipboard and then paste accordingly. We are now able to link the creative and traffic to DFP by associating the creative in Cargo Marketplace to the corresponding line items in DFP. To do this, we need to go back to the placement level of the creative that we want to traffic. Once we are back at the placement level, navigate to the Creatives tab. You will see 6 different headings: Creative, Associated Line Items, Impressions, Clicks, CTR, and Actions. When associating the creative to line items, we will be using the Actions button. After clicking this button, you will see the option to associate line items. Check the boxes next to all of the line items that you want the creative associated to. Once you've chosen all the line items you want the creative to run on, click Submit. Once you've submitted the request to associate the creative to line items, make sure to double check in DFP that the creatives have successfully associated to the corresponding line items.